What up geeks, welcome back to another Monster Hunter World video. Today we're going to be taking a look at how you can get hold of the Dante gear for the Devil May Cry crossover, which is awesome. It's awesome stuff, really worth the grind. The event is called Code Red. I'm going to show you what it's all about, and I'm going to show you the gear. It's got some really good skills attached. It comes with an awesome charge blade, and it's really cool. So it looks brilliant for a start. It looks absolutely the part. It's, whether you're male or female, it looks really good on either. The helmet is actually Dante's hair, which is really cool. The waist is the bottom of the coat, the top is the top of the coat, which is pretty sweet. If you look at the skills on it, I mean, it's got some really good stuff. Weakness exploit is built in, critical eye is built in, it's got evade window. It's kind of like, it's got a special ammo boost as well, which is, it's kind of built, I thought, for more melee centric, given that it comes with a charge blade. It's got like weakness exploit and critical eye. It's got latent power, but then it's also got special ammo boost. I suppose they've thrown that in to make it a bit more of an all-round set. But what you're going to do is go onto the Code Red event. Jump straight in. You've got to kill a few monsters. It's not the toughest quest. It took me, the first time I did it, it took me about 35 or 30, maybe 38 minutes, because I'm not very good, and I was using the charge blade, which is not really my forte. But you're going to go straight in against an Anjanath first. He's not the toughest. Everybody knows the Anjanath was kind of the first real wall that anybody had in Monster Hunter World, was the Anjanath. The first one that posed a real problem in the game after you'd already killed the Jagras and the Puke, and then you got on to the Anjanath and it was like, Jesus, this guy's tough. But honestly, by this point in the game, if you've been playing for sort of 50, 60 hours, 100, 200, 300, whatever you've been playing for, Anjanath's a piece of cake. So drop him, pretty simple. And then the next one out is the Doggo, the Odogaron, however you want to pronounce it. One of my favourites. I love fighting Doggo. He's brilliant. The move set and how he whips around the map and the aggressiveness is just, oh, I love it. It's a really good fight. But he's next, so you've got to do him. I got pretty lucky actually the first time, because I got an Anjanath gem and I picked up an Odogaron gem as well, which is good. I mean, if you're farming anyway, it's pretty good. But obviously you need the bits and pieces that drop from these monsters to build the Dante set, which kind of makes sense, being as it's, you know, that's what you're going for. But it's good, because if you do need them for anything else, and you got to do this event five or six times. I think I did it. I got lucky on one and got 2 of the red orbs that drop, which is what you need. Instead of tickets, you get red orbs, which is obviously a nod to Devil May Cry. You get red orbs, and then you trade those in with other materials. And one particular run, I got 2 red orbs, which was pretty cool. Yeah, then it comes to I don't actually know. I never really paid attention to whether it was a Rathalos or a Pink Raytheon. I think it's a Rathalos, but anyway, he is next after the Odogaron. It's a bit of a tougher one. I find that the flying monsters in particular are tough anyway, like the Rathalos, Raytheon, Kushala, Diora, Legiana, because we're especially playing melee, because I'm not that awesome at melee, really, so I'm still learning. But I mean, the charge blade I'm really picking up on, because I think it's a great weapon and it's a lot of fun. So I got it done. It was a bit messy, but I got it done, and to be honest, it's a lot of fun. This quest, it's a lot of fun. It's I like the ones that just throw monsters at you anyway, and I like arena quests because it's a different thing. You know, you're not chasing after it. It's not a hunt. It's just you and the monster in the ring. You can bring people in. It's a 4-player quest. You haven't got to solo it. I did the first time just because I wanted to see how doable it was. And it's very doable. It's not that tough a quest at all. So once Wrath is dead, it's time for a Teostra. Teostra, he's one of those elder dragons, or one of those monsters in general, that kind of scares people. Like, they think, oh shit, Teostra. And because he is quite aggressive, he's always covered in fire, he does a lot of damage when he hits you, but he's only really got that one attack, that one devastating area of effect explosion attack that he does that's any real danger. The rest of what he does is not all that scary, to be honest. So you just got to keep dodging around him, stay out of the way of his fire. If you've got cool drinks, knock one back before he comes out. Bring a fireproof mantle if you want. I mean, I did the whole thing with Rocksteady and Vitality. I didn't use either until I got into a Teostra fight. I did cart once, and that was on Teostra because I underestimated. I didn't bring enough health potions. I didn't bring enough stuff to make more health potions. I hadn't brought antidotes for Wrath. So I was woefully unprepared, but I still managed to get through it and kill all 4. So you can imagine it's not, like I said, it's not the toughest fight. But as I said, you do get some good stuff. There are some good drops in there. I did it over the course of, I think I did it 5 times, possibly 6. I think you need 7 gems in total, 2 for the sword and 1 for each piece of armour, which is 7. But I did the quest 6 times because on one of them I got 2. You don't get them from rewards or from cards, you just get them from the rewards, but I did pick up 2 in one of them. But I think over the whole course of it, I got, I think, 2 Odogaron gems, 2 Anjanath gems, and a couple of rubies. Didn't get a Teostra, but I got everybody else. And then the set itself, and I've got it here with the colour scheme that I was using, but I'll show you in a minute what it actually looks like. And it's got a shitload of slots in it as well, which is really good because obviously you've got the weakness exploit and the critical eye and the evade windows, or you've got those skills and latent power, but then you've got a lot of slots to really maximise this set. I mean, if you're the sort of person who goes for critical eye builds in particular, affinity builds, weakness exploit, you want to maximise that stuff, it's a really, really good set for that. Regardless of what weapon you use, it's a really, really good set for just going hell for leather on the affinity stuff, on increasing your critical attack, critical damage. It's really good for that. It's probably the best set so far in terms of skills. I mean, the Kulve Taroth set that we got last week, that's pretty good. But I think the Dante one, for my playstyle personally, is a better set. If you boost the damage on the defense on it, which is going to cost you a lot, the defense is really low. It starts off at about 60, so you've got to really put quite a lot of money into it. But I mean, you can see just the colour schemes on it when you go in to change the pigment. It just looks awesome. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with this set. I'm in love with the skills on it. I've had a lot of fun just playing around with it. And the sword from it is just fantastic. The Dante's Devil Sword, the Charge Blade, is brilliant. It's got blue sharpness naturally. It never seems to degrade. It takes forever for the blue sharpness to degrade. It takes a lot of handicraft to get it into the white, but it doesn't degrade from blue. It seems to stay blue forever. I've gone through whole hunts having to sharpen just the once. And it's got some really serious damage on it. It's got impact files, so if you are running an artillery build, which I generally do when I'm not using the Dante set, I have been running artillery with the impact files. It's really quite a powerful weapon. And it looks really cool because it's different from the Charge Blade. You haven't got a massive shield on your back. The shield's like a little magical shield, which is kind of in keeping with Dante and Devil May Cry. It's just really sweet. It's very, very good. And I like the fact that all the pieces are separate. It's not like the Aloy set or the Ryu set where you've got to wear the whole thing all the time, because you never see people in those. I never go into a quest and see people running around dressed as Aloy or running around dressed as Ryu, because it's not, the sets aren't great and you can't mix and match them. People like to mix sets. They like to maximise on their skills, like to optimise their builds. This is the better way of doing it. I hope Capcom do this going forward. I hope they keep on giving us sets that we can chop and change, that have got cool skills on it. I mean, if you've got you've got weakness exploit 2 on the pants, which is brilliant because normally legs don't have weakness exploit. We've got it on the Dragon King eye patch, which is kind of the meta. We've got it on the Rathalos mail, and we've got it on the Kaiser gauntlets. They're the main 3 that people use. and it restricts your builds a lot, because there are some cool skills on other gloves, like Agitator on the Nergigante Van braces, or Critical Boost on the Wrath helm, things like that you want to be able to use, but you end up kind of hamstrung by having to go for weakness exploit, because that is the skill that every build's pretty much got to have weakness exploit. This way you're freed up. You've got another way of getting weakness exploit onto your build, which means you're free to do things like earplugs in other places. Handicraft is good if you're not going to use a Dante sword. So it's a really good set. So yeah, that's it. That's the Dante set. That's the Code Red event. Well worth picking up. It's not around for long like all these. They're limited time events. The Kulf Taroth event also runs out pretty soon. That's finished in a couple of days, 3rd of May. So if you haven't had a chance to grind that, I would do so before it goes away. And definitely get onto the Code Red event. Definitely get this set, because it's well worth getting. It does take a little while to grind it. It does take a little while to collect the mats, but it's well worth doing. I've been Mick Fraser of God is a Geek, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.